Hello friends, we're going to do problem 10.9 in your AP Stats book today, and we are going to use, of course, our calculator and our inference toolbox. So if you do not have this, you should print one out and get started. Write your name. I'm going to put Marshman64 for short. Put the date. Put the problem. So this is problem 10.9, and in your book, it is on page 632. Now listen. Write this down. You're going to have a bunch of these by the time May rolls around. And when you go to study for the AP exam, it's going to be real handy for you to be able to go right to the page that the problem is on so you can read the problem and what you wrote. Okay, so what am I doing? Well, we are going to construct and interpret a 99% confidence interval for IQ. So that's what goes in the first box. So in all of these, you're basically going to be writing down what the problem asks you to do in this state hypothesis box. All right, now the next thing is I'm doing a confidence interval, I'm using a Z-star, and I'm using a sigma. So I need to write down the assumptions that go with using this. So what do I know for sure? I know I need an SRS. I know I need it to be normal, and I know I need it to be independent. All right, so a couple of these are easy. Okay. In this problem, in any problem, it's either going to say that it's random or it's not. But I need it to be random. So what you're going to do is you're just going to say that you assume these 31 7th grade girls from the Midwestern school were randomly picked. All right. And the independent one's easy because I'm just going to say that I'm assuming that there are at least 10 times 31 or 310 girls in the population, which is this Midwestern school district. So I write that 30 girls, and I'm just going to put SD for school district. All right, and now I need to see if it's normal. Oh, and of course I slack here. It says SRS, so instead of writing that, what I wrote here, I can say given. All right, and if it isn't given, then I write assume. If it is given, then I write given. Okay, and what else did they tell me here that I didn't read? Okay, suppose that population is known to be, so standard deviation of this population is known to be that. So I got the sigma, so let's see if our data that we have, our sample, is normally distributed. Now I'm going to hit you with something else funky, and I've told you about this, but maybe if I actually show it to you. You've got 31 scores here you got to put in the calculator, and you can see here that if I hit stat, enter, that I have nothing in these lists. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import this. I'm going to go File, Load File. Now you would do this for your TI-84 from a thing called TI Connect, but I have here on my computer all the data for all the problems. So this is example 10.9, which is this one, and it's going to load in. And I don't know if it's going to make me, do you want to overwrite? Sure I do. Okay, so now when I hit stat, enter, there's all the data. So that's a lot more convenient. All right, so I can send you the data for any of these files as we go. And the point of having the data in is to take a look and see. So let's make a plot. Okay, if I go second stat plot, I'm already set up here for a box and whisker. All right, so let's just quit out of that and zoom 9 it. All right, and there it is. Now notice I got a little outlier here on the left. So I would sketch this in, I would identify, I'm going to say basically a sentence to the effect that this is normal enough, okay, despite the outlier. All right, so I'm just going to write a sentence in, I'm shorthanding it just to get through. Once the conditions are met, I simply write in the formula that I'm going to use. That is my confidence interval formula. Given in the problem, given in the problem, given indirectly in the problem because they want a 99%, and that's always going to be a Z-star of 2.579. On the calculator, I want to get the X bar. So I'm going to go do one variable stats on my list. So my X bar, it turns out, is 105.84. So I simply substitute in all those numbers into the formula. Then I let the calculator do the work. Again, stat, one left arrow. This is a Z interval, which is number 7. I'm going to do it from data, which is L1. My sigma is 15. I want a 99% confidence interval, and I hit calculate, and that's the number that's going to go there in that last box. You should be able to interpret. We'll talk about it in class.